this is that, like I said, about this COVID-19 era, we've been going for a couple of times. We have a bit of time on our hands. What have you done? Okay, you've been going online. How many hours do you dedicate to researching about IELTS? How many hours do you sit down to read some material? Do you try and read some material 30 minutes a day? Do you do that? Do we? No, we all just sit down. We expect that okay, 2 weeks to the exam. I'll just be through. I've been studying English for the last 30 years of my life, right from primary school. I was lectured in English. To be frank, it might not work that way. It takes discipline, and that's why I keep saying I always connected back to specialized coaching. Okay, some people are that good that they can sit down on their own, go through the materials, and I won't use the word lucky. Okay, I don't subscribe to that. You're just lucky you're getting. Some people are that good. They sit down on material, research it, and get along. But some of us might need that extra help. Okay, which is why we're here today. Taking the IELTS exam, which is valid for 2 years, and that was about the roadmap. When you have a roadmap, you need to know, okay, I'm starting my migration journey now. When is the end point? You've taken an exam here today and you don't utilize it for the next 1 year. It's gone. The average period it takes you to process a school admission, talking about between 6 to 9 months. If you're taking an IELTS exam before January, do you think it's the active and valid as when you're traveling? No. So that's why I said we need to have a roadmap of your journey for this exams. Now, people talk about the main aspects of the IELTS. Okay, when I go for my IELTS exams, how should I compose myself? What should I do? Stuff like that. Basically, like you're going for the exam, what should you be doing for the exam? There's some kind of housekeeping rules that everybody goes by. You follow the rules, basically, the assessor, where the examiners are there to help you. That's just what we need to get right. They're there to help you to kind of achieve your scores. They're not there to kind of like make you feel so you come back and sit another exam. Nobody likes that. It's bad PR for everybody. It's like, okay, I've sat 1 or 2 exams, the IELTS exam, and I'm not passing. Okay, it's really bad press. We all want it to pass, and that's why we aim to support you at any point in time. Looking internationally now and even within the country, we all want opportunities. Extra opportunities within Nigeria and outside the country. We all want to work with the global brand in the multinational, and then probably we need for some foreign qualifications to kind of achieve it. We all want to do that, and that is why the IELTS is for you now. In the post-COVID era now, people are working from home, people are going to things. There are so many new courses which before now we are not focusing on. A lot of IT skills are now in display. There are so many courses that has been available before now that we never even thought we could use. Most organizations have had Teams and all the video conference tools forever, but they never used it. But in this new era now, and this is very important, and that's why we need to start looking beyond where we are. The IELTS brand is that global thing that gives you access to that global opportunity everywhere you go to right now. And this is an exam that's co-owned. This assessment is co-owned by the British Council and a company based in Australia, that works out of Australia. The result is acceptable almost everywhere in the world. Okay, as long as there's the need for an English assessment score, then the IELTS exam is one of these assessment scores. It gives you that confidence to walk into an organization and say, I hold a global certification. You know, you're at par with that man in the UK, in the US, in Russia, anywhere in the world. Okay, I can understand and I can comprehend. You know, it's not just like appreciating that just hold and you still feel like you're restricted globally, locally to certain things. And so, if I want to talk about this now, we look at the fee schedule for the IELTS exam. Okay, recently there was a review of the cost of the IELTS. We have the paper-based and the computer-delivered IELTS exams. Okay, so for someone like me, I'm a somehow left-handed, my right hand can be very funny at times. Then I rather prefer to do the typing on the system. Okay, it works for me. And then for other people, we feel like some people they prefer to write, and the more they write, the more they grab what they're doing. So it's a two-way. So we have the delivery for paper-based and computer delivery exams, and then you have the IELTS for the UKVI, and then you have the life skills also. So all these are what open up these opportunities for you. Right now, if we look at the current trend of people traveling, okay, what do they travel for? better life, right? Some of us will say, okay, I'm doing this for the kids, I'm not doing it for myself again, I'm alone, and I'm fine. But why do you think you want them to have that opportunity out there? Why? It's because you know the global chances, you know impact this can make on quote unquote a whole generational, a whole generation sometimes when want to do this. So for me, I'll just say that whatever we do, we should always begin with the end in mind. Okay, have a global view towards what you intend to do. You're not just traveling because you want to go make more money, in pounds, in dollars, or something, but you're traveling because you want to better improve yourself. Okay. First and foremost, I always say I don't encourage brain drain in any way. Get the opportunity out there, get that opportunity, use it probably to come back and improve yourself and your immediate environment. Okay, that's what the British Council supports. British Council believes that all knowledge you gain should be for the benefit of the immediate constituency and environment. That's we believe in. Okay, but everybody have their personal views about that, and I need to be very specific about it. So I would say that if you're still going to start, now is the time to start your journey. Okay? And what do you mean by start a journey? Start a journey says that start thinking ahead. We have people here who are current students in LASU, probably in the next 2 years, a year from now, they are moving out of this environment. You're going for your NYC maybe, and then from there, what's the next thing? You're thinking of having a master's exam, a master's program, so running master's programs. Most of us, or like me, there's about student scholarships in world, trying to get a scholarship to go to somewhere, but well, I can get it. So, but you can actually, there are certain criteria, okay, that make these opportunities available to you. You need to kind of just position yourself, be in the right place at the right time. So these are things that help you to plan towards that destination you want to go. And that's why I talk about the pathway. You see yourself in the next 2, 3 years, oh, I want to be here, I want to have achieved this, I want to do this. All those things don't happen overnight. There has to be a plan. I keep saying there has to be a plan. People believe in luck, but luck is not always doesn't work that way. Okay, nothing comes by chance. It's having to be focused and dedicated to what you do. There are a whole lot of opportunities available right now. You can actually be in Nigeria and work anywhere globally. Okay, you know that, right? This is a life, right? Trust me, you can be working with some organization out there. There are so many portals right now that make them available. But for that to be available to you also, you need to have those global opportunities that put you at the top with guys and people outside this country and in those places you want to be. And going to be kind of like say, now is the time to take this, we can start saving towards this. If causes a problem for people, if you can save towards the work towards it, saving the pocket money, just throughout this. Last CBT taking about part some fantastic discounts on the training and the coaching session for the exam. And I think that's a very wonderful thing because all this I know doesn't come cheap right now. And I would encourage every one of us to look into this, have a plan in place, and think of where we want to be in the next couple of months, years, and at the same time also look at how we want to achieve using the IELTS as a base, just like a stepping stone to doing something. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. So, like I said, I want this to be pretty interactive, and so it works better because I know you actually have a whole lot of questions for me, and my colleague Bachar, he's also going to take a session later on. But for now, I want us to kind of just come up with some more interesting things you've heard about IELTS and what you'd like to get feedback about. Thank you. Just feel free to just raise up your hand and then we deep dive into the question. Your name and thank you very much. My name is Ibrahim. There are 4 questions I want to ask. I don't know which one to ask anyone at all. Watch all at once. For the IELTS, I learned that there is the general
text, others academics. Then you do academic writing. You know there starts one and there starts two. Okay, I learned that the academics writing, that henceforth there will be no essay. So I don't know how true it's that. Thank God you are from this council. Please.
Okay, so thank you, Mr. Brian, for this question. Okay, so you said something very important. You said you learned, okay? During the course of my discussion, I talked about why we need to be a bit, to have actionable plans of what we want to do. When Dr. was talking about, you talked about certain websites where we can get all this information. I think you're saying all this information is available to us on this video. Anytime, I'll say we should not rely on essays. Talk about I learned. It's very important for us to be very specific about this. What you said might be true, might not be true. But if that ever happens, I'm telling you that all this will be splashed across all channels where we broadcast this out, that this is what's happening right now. As it is now, status remains the same until it is announced that that was happening. I will encourage you to always follow the British Council website and also rely more on your partners like the last CBT Center to get this information. That's why they're here for this.
Right. For the exam, after writing the exam and the result eventually comes out, if a test taker feel he or she is being victimized or one way or the other, is there any way for remarking, and how do we know?
Thank you so much. So after the exam, we have the post-exam phase also. So what you're talking about is the era of not the test taker feel victimized. I don't like to use that word. I'd rather say maybe the test taker is not satisfied with the score that he or she has achieved. Then we can have what we call a remark. Okay, you can actually apply to remark one or two components of the assessment of your assessment. Okay, and the way it works is that our portal is now robust. Okay, you can actually, if you are taking this step directly with British Council directly, then you can apply to British Council directly. If you are taking it through one of the approach center, like you're taking it through last CBT, and then you talk to your last CBT business partner and they put it through. The way it works is that when you apply for a remark, you'll be charged for that remark, there's a fee. But if the result comes out and you have improved, maybe there's actually a valid reason why your score should maybe move from a 7 to a 7.5, then that money will be refunded to what you paid for that remark. If not, then there is avenue for you to actually remark within a certain number of days after the release of the results.
The third question. All right. The speaking arts. Take this consideration for those that are speech impairment, standards. Would it be patient, guys, the examiners, would it be patient enough to listen to them that day? And if it is so, will it be reflected on their results that this in the standard that affects the job we are seeking for?
Thank you so much. So one of the very first things that made any mention about British Council is that there's one of our major focus and one of the values we need to equality, international inclusion. Nobody should be left behind based on the fact that you have some special needs. I won't call it challenges, special needs. Okay. So if you notice, if you've ever gone to the IELTS registration site, these are questions there where you have to. There's a place where you can click that you have a special need and that you need special attention. You can type of special needs you have. Trust me, we make provision for this. Our examiners themselves are very patient. It's not, they don't want to know about, it's not about how fast to talk. It's not about how smooth, how much accent or what I call, like we call it in Nigeria, how much phone you talk about. It's all about, are you doing it the right way? So if you stammer, then they'll encourage you to calm down, and then there are ways in which all this is assessed. And the result does not carry anything about special need or not. But the result is the result.
All right. For Lastly, for some of us that are actually first for the first time, please, I would like you to give general advice what is expected of us that day, so that we know.
Okay, so thanks so much. But not to not to say that I'm shutting you down from that question, but like I always say, I would advise you one, leverage on resources and materials you have online on the either British Council site or on your business partners in last CBT. Like for every exam you always attend, there are certain housekeeping rules about getting there on time, be prepared, be focused, do things the right way, follow instructions, and believe me, you'll be fine, okay? Just in this. Thank you. Madam.
My name is Arima Ajoke. I have two questions. Okay, number one, is it advisable to take the exam first, then to start the admission process, or do the admission process, then wait for the exam, or do the admission, start the admission process, then the exam?
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to put it this way. The question is not like asking me like, what which comes first, chicken or the egg? Okay, so we have like a right? Right? Yes. Now, if you take an exam and you want to use that exam to go to school, like assessment, most times when you check the website or the requirements of that school, you see the requirements needed to qualify for admission in that school, right? And then based on your action plan, after I talked about earlier on, you would have checked yourself, okay, do I have all this in place? And once you know you have all those things in place, that's when you approach the institution. So I would advise that when you know you're ready to go to school, move on to the next phase of your career or education or something, having at the back of your mind that the exam is valid for 2 years, I will advise personally that you take your exam towards when you feel like it's closer to that time, and then you approach the school, because you have schools that even that result, that IELTS assessment result you have, can stand as one of those things that a better chance of getting the desired admission. Thank you.
What if the person has a low mark in this exam? Would the person still qualify to get admission to the university?
So earlier on when I started, I told you about the fact that in IELTS there's no pass mark, there's no fail mark. What you have at the balance, okay? And what really matters is what is acceptable to either the institution or the organization you'll be presenting the score to. So averagely, from just what I see around, I know that most institutions or even countries for migration reason will ask you for a minimum of a 6.5 across board. Okay? But for you to stand a better chance in when you're doing things, it's always best to be in the top, but maybe you're in class and you're like the top 10 percentile. So the higher your score, the higher you are assessed, then the greater or the more accessible you get those chances. I'm just saying. So it's best for you to aspire to be in the higher bands. Okay. Thank you so much, Aaron. Almost every week we are running a session, and that's why you need to visit our website or leverage on your business partner in last CBT 18 to get this date. But I can assure you that right from there on your phone, right from your computer screen there or anything you're using, you can get access to this. Just go online, you see all the dates. Every weekend we have a session running in the 11 or 12 locations I showed you across there. And then, like I said, we have the online and paper delivery. Even though it's online, the paper delivery, it has to be done in a CBT test location, not like you sit at home and do it yourself. For now, but we don't know, like I keep saying, what happens next. If possible, in the next coming months or years, you need to sit and have your IELTS exam done from the comfort of your home. That would be a great one. I would even love that. Thank you. Yes, please go. Now you feel more comfortable, right? Don't ask that question.
The exam, for the paper bills and the computer bills, the time allotted for each is the same thing.
Yes, the time is the same time.
Like 40 minutes.
So for that, is basically the same. The only difference is that, like I said, people like me now, I might prefer to type than writing, and I believe that my writing is not so legible, so I'd rather prefer to type. But trust me, the exam standard and everything is the same. The only good thing again is just that for the computer delivered exam, you get your results faster than the paper delivered. Thank you. That's good. So, what was the last question?
I don't know. The question I want to ask is that we have inside of English, like the American English, the North American English, and the British English. When taking the IELTS exam, are we taking it in the British English or the American English, the North American English?
I'm here for the exam today. So, I think Bangsharo will take that today. This is actually Bangsharo on here.
So, in Nigeria, we have the opportunity to speak British English. However, when you're writing, if you're doing either computer delivered or paper based, you need to be consistent. You need to decide on which of the English language you want to write. So if you're starting with American English, you agree with me, there are certain, if you want to spell center, for instance, so some spell it P-E-N-T-R-E, some spell it T-E-R.
Yeah, T-E-R.
You have to be consistent if you're using American English all the way. Or if you're using British English, you have to be consistent. Okay.
You said
So he said he wants to know the difference between the general testing and the academic testing. So that might premise my discussion. I'm probably not going to, I just have to speak generally. So IELTS have a number of variants. We have what we call standard IELTS. So IELTS, I'm going to use IELTS assuming that we already know that International English Language Testing System. And so under the standard, you have academic, and then you have the general. And then between the standard, there's also UKVI, that is UK Visas and Immigration. So they serve different purposes. Taking to your question now, general IELTS is for people who want to migrate. So we've had a lot of, this question is very profound, because we've had people who come, they register for, in fact, we deal with that every day. They register for general IELTS, and then it appears that it happens that the school actually requested for the academic. The academic IELTS is for people who want to go study. The school will usually request that you do an academic IELTS. So if you have a general IELTS, it will not fly if you're going to study. You would need to do an academic IELTS. And the school usually will state that you need to score 6 or 6.5 or 7, for admission. Again, there are some universities that ask for IELTS UKVI, especially in the UK. Some specify to say you must do UKVI, and the UKVI is slightly different from the standard IELTS because it is particularly managed by the UK. So the infrastructure that we deploy in testing is different. Therefore, it is important to find out which variant you are to write before registering. Why it is important is by the time you register,
you have just a few weeks to be able to change from one module to another module at no cost. There is a certain number of weeks, I think about 4 weeks or thereabouts. If you come to say you want to change from general to academic, you will now be charged about 21,000 naira, not 21,000 pounds. So if you charge 21,000 naira, that might be a lot of money. However, I want to speak to the partnership with LASU CBT. There are some benefits you will get if you register for your IELTS through LASU CBT that you will not get if you go on the portal and register by yourself.
Each session of the
So there is a reason for which we have earmarked tuition providers, those who register IELTS across Nigeria. We profile them and we've done all that needs to be done, and we've selected partners that we think can be the face of British Council wherever they're located. And that's why LASU CBT is a representative of British Council, the partner of British Council on IELTS. So you can walk into the LASU CBT office, register for the IELTS with them, through them, and then you do your training. They also provide training. They train students and candidates to be able to take the IELTS. Now, they're not just training because, they are partners. We invest a lot of money in training their trainers. So we call it train the trainer. So if a trainer from LASU CBT, usually we write to say, send us the details of your trainer. All of the partners are across Nigeria, and then we train them. The training costs about 1,000 pounds to train a trainer, and it exposes them to a lot of tips. Someone had mentioned about the tips. I think the person was asked you about tips on these are some of the things that I discussed. If you notice, we don't learn English in university. We learn it from primary school. I usually say this almost everywhere. What we do in secondary and in university is now developing our vocabulary. And a lot of us, except for maybe younger people, many of us didn't have the opportunity. Some of us went to Ikoto Grammar School. We didn't go to Cambridge. I didn't do Cambridge exam. I didn't do IGCSE. I did WAEC and NECO. But younger people now are doing checkpoints, IGCSE, A levels, AS levels. So they have the opportunity to write and take English at the same level across where we operate in 152 countries. So whatever English language is being taught in Pakistan or in the UK or in Brazil is the same question paper that will be taught in Nigeria or taken in Nigeria. So it becomes very important to standardize the training, which is why we pick trainers from each of the partners and train them. And so that's where they'll tell you, if you're going to use American English, use it all the way. If you're going to use British, use it all the way. If you're going to be writing, I have done the IELTS as well, even before I joined the British Council. So I write a capital letter from start to finish, because there are times you would not remember to start a sentence with a capital letter, or your writing might make the examiner think that it's a small letter you're starting with. And these are a lot of tips that you will benefit when you register through your partner. So they're not just we're not just having a session for having its sake. LASU CBT have been profiled to deliver that training and to register. Again, there are some costs, like I've said, there are some costs that you will evade if you go through your partner. That's not to say we like to make money. If you make those mistakes, I would gladly charge you 21,000. it's part of my KPI to make more money. So by the time you make the mistake and you charge it, happily charge it 21,000. But we do not want you to go through that hassle. We also do not want you to drive all the way to Ikoyi to register for your IELTS. Before now, you will have to go to the bank to pay through a bank draft. But now, you can do everything once you see that CCBT start to finish. You can request that your results be sent to last CCBT and you come and pick it instead of also coming back to the British Council to pick your results. Let's still take questions by go into the. You still want to ask a question? I see you raising your hand. Okay, please.
Morning, everybody. My name is Adebola Abiola. My question is this: there are some of us that would like to go overseas to work and to study. Which of these exams do we take?